Welcome to another installment of Turn Up the AC Hot Takes with Reason on a solo edition. Now, it's been a week. I'm back. We're back. Turn Up the AC Hot Takes. We were wrong. 100% wrong. I picked Fernando Vargas Jr. to win by knockout, and I picked Canelo to win by knockout. Let's talk about it. Now, there's going to be a lot of people saying, oh, how could you pick against Crawford? Let's be real, man. Logic told you to pick Canelo. If you look at all the measurables, it said pick Canelo. The size difference, the age, he was younger. You had bigger guys who couldn't hurt Canelo. And I know y'all saw it because I saw Canelo hurt a couple times when he fought Crawford. What else? Triple G couldn't hurt Canelo, but Terence Crawford did. And it's crazy, man, because I did not think they were that close in size. But I swear, man, something about Crawford, he's a cheat code, bro. Like, I don't know what it is. He might be the perfect fighter. The mix of the skills, the IQ, the power. He can beat you up from southpaw. He can beat you up orthodox. There is no limits to what Terence Crawford can do in the ring. And I picked against him. And I wanted to be known. I picked for him to get beat by knockout. But I also did say there was a path to victory for him. And I thought he executed a portion of that beautifully. The boxing ability and just being able to control what he wanted to do in the ring. Now, Crawford, in my opinion, controlled majority of the fight. He did what he wanted to do in the ring, and I just didn't think he would be able. I don't want to say he wouldn't be able to. I just didn't think at some point. I thought at some point Canelo was going to get to him, with the power. Clearly, Crawford he's special. And what I said before the fight, and when I picked Canelo to win by knockout, I said if Crawford wins this fight, you got to mention his name after Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Robinson, you know what I'm saying, in terms of the GOATs in the sport of boxing. And anybody on any given day in the history of fighting, anybody that Crawford could potentially get into the ring with throughout history, it'll be tough to say that he would lose to that fighter. I don't care who we're talking about. It's going to be tough. I used to think a prime Floyd Mayweather beats Crawford. I don't know anymore. Obviously, we'll never find out because, Floyd's in his mid-40s and Crawford's 38. There's no chance of these guys fighting. But we never know. If there was a time where they could have fought both prime for prime, there is no guarantee Floyd wins that. Terence Crawford did his thing, man. Let's talk about it, bro. Like, I thought he boxed beautifully. He utilized the ring. He stayed off the ropes. There's one thing that last Saturday night Canelo Crawford proved to me was something I always thought about Canelo. I believe he's been cherry picking the past few years, pretty much ever since he fought Danny Jacobs. After that, I thought he started cherry picking. He went on his European tour, the Yildirims of the world, the Billy Joe Saunders, the Caleb Smiths, the guys that we knew he was going to beat. Now, Caleb Smith, that win is aging a little bit better because I think Caleb Smith is a pretty good fighter. But the Rocky Fieldings, the Abner Yildirims, he was a mandatory. Come on, bro. We're talking about Billy Joe Saunders. We're talking about the likes of Edgar Berlanga. We're talking about Jaime Munguia. Guys that, in my opinion, hurt Canelo. Picking to fight them hurt him. Because he was never almost going to lose to any of those guys. So I think over the course of the years and getting older and fighting these fights that he don't really got to get up for, I think that might have hurt him. His sharpness, his just overall abilities, I think might have diminished a little bit because he didn't have to keep them sharp to be winning these fights. And that's definitely a complete contrast from a Terence Crawford, because one of the big things was his inactivity and the activity of a Canelo. That was one of the big talking points from people. And one thing I can say about Terence Crawford is he's so disciplined, because he fought his last fight before last Saturday on September 13th was August of last year. So a whole 13 months prior. And before that, there was another 13 months prior to that when he fought Spence. And then he fought Avanesian in December of 22. And before that, he fought Sean Porter, I want to say, in 2021. In the last 8 years, Crawford has something like 10 fights. So he's been on average about a fight a year. But one thing, he's basically done that throughout his entire career. If you look at BoxRec and you go back, it's about an average of a fight a year, a little over a fight a year. So I think him doing that for the majority of his career gave him the ability to do it, because he was constantly putting the long layoffs in between his great performances. And I don't think we've ever seen Crawford look rusty in the ring or not like himself. Whatever he does in his off season, in his between camps, between fights, it's working. It works. Whatever he does, because he's never been out of shape for a fight. He's never even come close to missing a weight. He always looks locked in. He puts in the work behind the scenes that nobody sees. Puts himself through the pain during the camps, during these long layoffs, to stay within the weight. So when it's time to fight, he just getting in shape. And I salute Terence Crawford, man, for what he's doing. 3 division undisputed, first male to do that in combat sports in the 4-bout era. I think that's super impressive. The praise for Terence Crawford can go on for days, months, for the foreseeable future, because he deserves it. What he did in that ring against Canelo Alvarez, I don't know if there's anybody else who can do it the way he did. Clear cut, hands down, he's the best. This is his era. This is the Crawford era. There's really not much else you could say, for Terence Crawford, because what he did, it speaks for itself. But, I had to do my thoughts because it's been over a week. I've been busy, so I've been meaning to get in here and get on this topic and talk about it, because what he did was amazing. It was second to none. I've never witnessed a bigger victory than what I did last weekend in Crawford beating Canelo. I had it 116 to 112 in favor of Crawford, 8 rounds to 4. I was talking to one of my friends during the fight, and I was trying to tell him, like, hey, yeah, Crawford's winning this fight. It was like round 10. I was like, yeah, Crawford's winning this fight, but he better win these last few rounds, because they're going to try to take it from him. That was my honest thoughts. I said that during the fight. I think they're going to try to take it from Crawford, but they couldn't. He won so convincingly, you couldn't even cheat him. So shout out to Terence Crawford. And before we get off of the topic of Crawford and Canelo, I want to say shout out to Canelo Alvarez. I am not the biggest fan of Canelo Alvarez. I have a lot of criticism for that guy, because the way he picks and chooses his fights, and the fact that he's never fought and probably never will fight David Benavidez. Whether he won or lost, I just wanted to see the fight. But with all that being said, shout out to Canelo. You can't have him lower than number 2 in this era. It's Crawford and then Canelo. Bro's been on top for a decade. He's been the guy for a decade, the cash cow. What's next for him? I don't know. But he's got a couple of fights left on his deal with Turki Al-Sheikh in Riyadh season. So, we're going to see some things from him from there. Who knows? Maybe he gives us the Benavidez fight going into retirement. I doubt it, but maybe he does. Maybe he fights Shiraz, old boy that just knocked out Berlanga. I think that would be a great comeback fight for Canelo. He could lose it, but I think that shows the dog, the warrior in him if he comes back and fights a Shiraz. I think that'd be an awesome fight. I'd pick Canelo in that fight, but it'd be tough. It'd be very tough. He's got a lot of options. He can come back for a tune-up fight against anybody at 68. But as far as Terence Crawford, he can do whatever he wants. He could ride off into the sunset with that victory, retire, call it a career. First ballot Hall of Fame. He can do a hometown retirement fight against anybody. Or he could do the unthinkable and go up again. He could defend his belts at 168 because he just got stripped of his WBA strap. So he's no longer undisputed at 68. He has 3 of the 4 straps. There's a number of things that Crawford could do, but whatever it is, he deserves it. If he calls it retirement, he deserves it. If he calls another fight next, he deserves it. A retirement fight, whatever. He deserves it all because he won against Canelo. It is officially the Crawford era. Shout out to Terence Crawford. He deserves all the credit in the world. I picked you to lose by knockout, and you proved me wrong. You proved everybody wrong. And I didn't pick you to lose because I'm a Canelo fan. That wasn't the case at all. Logic, the size, power, everything, man. That's why I went. And you jumping up 3 weight classes over 2 fights with 1 pit stop at 54. And you showed out, and you deserve all the respect in the world. So shout out to you, Terence Crawford, for the victory. Undisputed 3 times, 3 different divisions. Never been done before by a male fighter. So shout out to him. Shout out to Canelo Alvarez. Until next time, this has been Reason, ton of the AC Hot Takes. Let me know what you thought about the fight, man. And tell me why I shouldn't have picked against Crawford. And is there anybody all time in history that you would pick against Crawford? Talk to me, man. Where do you rank him all time? Is he on your Mount Rushmore? He's Mount Rushmore to me after what he did against Canelo Alvarez. So shout out to Terence Crawford. You deserve it all. If you want to retire, go ahead, brother. You deserve it. But if you want to fight another time, I'm definitely watching. So shout out to you, Terence Crawford. Shout out to everybody who watched. Shout out to everybody who's still watching. Let me know what you want to see next from Crawford and Canelo. Until next time, Reason, turn up the AC Hot Takes. We're out.